So proceeding on to the next question, that is your question number 11. An ideal gas of constant mass is heated in a container of constant volume. Okay, so what is the reason for the increase in the pressure of the gas? So we know that as the temperature increases, the particles move faster, right? And therefore they have greater speed, so greater momentum, and therefore greater the force when they collide with the walls, right? So that means the average force per impact at the wall increases, right? So that means the correct option for the increase in the pressure of the gas is that the average force per impact at the container wall increases, right? So that means the correct option to question number 11 is option number B. I hope you got the question. Now proceeding on to question number 12, it is given that we have been given that the density of the substance in liquid divided by the density of the substance in gas is how much? This is equal to your 1000, right? So that means from here I can write that the volume, so from here I can write that the volume of the molecule, the volume of the molecule in gas divided by the volume of the molecule in liquid, this ratio is equal to your rho of liquid divided by rho of gas, right? So which is in turn given to be how much? 1000, right? So that means the volume of molecule of gas divided by the volume of molecule of liquid, this is given to be how much? 1000, right? So from here I can write that the volume of gas, so this is equal to your 1000 times volume of liquid molecule. Okay, so these are molecules, I'm writing this for molecules, volume of liquid molecule, right? So what is the volume of the gas molecule? What is so the molecules are considered to be spheres, right? And over here, suppose this is the gas molecule, the radius of the sphere is r. So what is the volume of this molecule of gas? 4/3 pi into r1 cube. Okay, so this is equal to 1000 times the volume of the liquid molecule. The liquid molecule is also considered to be a sphere, right? And suppose the volume of the sphere is, suppose the radius of the sphere is r2. So the volume of the liquid molecule is 4/3 pi into r2 cube, right? So from here I can write that r1 cube, so this is equal to your 1000 times of r2 cube. So that means the radius of the molecule in gas, that is r1, so this is equal to your 10 times of radius of the molecule in liquid. So from here, if I just multiply both sides with 2, so 2 times of r1, so this will be equal to your 10 into 2 times of r2. Okay, so what is 2 times of r1? The diameter of the gas molecule, right? So what is 2 times of r2? The diameter of the water molecule, right? So 10 times of, now, and the diameter of the water molecule is given to be d, right? So that means the diameter of the gas molecule d1 is equal to 10 times of d. Okay, now what is the average distance between the two molecules? This is the diameter, right? That is the diameter, right? Why? Because see, these are two molecules. Okay, so this molecule has a radius r, gas molecule, so these two are the two gas molecules. Okay, this gas molecule has a radius r, again this gas molecule has a radius r, right? So that means what is the distance between the two gas molecules? 2r, right? So which is equal to your diameter. So that means the average distance between the two gas molecules will be equal to its diameter, okay, which is equal to 10 times of small d. Okay, so that means the correct option is option number B. I hope you got the. So proceeding on to the next question, that is your question number 13. A bicycle of mass capital M comes to rest from a speed v using a back brake. Okay, so that means what is the kinetic energy of the bicycle? So this is equal to your half into what is the mass of the bicycle, capital M, right? And what is the speed? That means speed is v, right? So that is kinetic energy is half m v square. Okay, the brake has a specific heat capacity of c, okay, and the mass small m. Okay, half of the kinetic energy is absorbed by the brake, right? So that means the energy that is absorbed by the brake, right, suppose the energy be E dash, right? So this is equal to your half of the kinetic energy, right? So which is equal to your half of capital M v square, right? So that means your E dash will be equal to your, that is the energy absorbed by your brake, is equal to your 1/4 capital M v square, right? And the energy that is absorbed by the brake would be converted into the thermal energy, right? So that means the brake absorbs the energy and converts it into thermal energy, right? So that means when the brake converts the energy into thermal energy, there will be an increase in temperature, right? So that means they are asking what is the change in the temperature of the brake, right? So what will be the thermal energy? Mass of the brake, right, into specific heat, C into delta T, right? And these two energies should be equal. Why? Because the brake absorbs half of the kinetic energy and converts it into thermal energy, right? This is the thermal energy, this is the kinetic energy, right? So that means, right, so that means these two energies should be equal, right? So that means small m c delta T, so this should be equal to your 1/4 capital M v square, right? So that means the change in temperature delta T this will be equal to your capital M v square divided by 4 small m into c. So that means the correct option to this question, that is question number 13, is option number A. I hope you got the question. Now proceeding on to the next question, that is your question number 14. It says that an object moves with simple harmonic motion. The acceleration of the object is. Okay, so we know that for a particle that performs simple harmonic motion, acceleration is given as, acceleration is equal to minus of omega square into x, right? So acceleration is equal to minus of omega square into x. Okay, so let's just look into the option. The acceleration is constant. Is it constant? No, it's not constant. Why? Because as x increases, acceleration increases, right? As x decreases, acceleration decreases, right? So that means first option is incorrect. Okay, always directed away from the center of oscillation. Is it so? Okay, let's just check. Okay, so suppose the center of acceleration, so suppose the center of oscillation be this point 0, 0. Okay, so now I am going in this direction. Okay, in this direction I am going in this direction. So in this direction x is positive, right? So in this direction x is positive. So when x is positive, acceleration is what? Minus of omega square into x. Omega square is positive quantity. The square of any term is positive. X is positive, right? So the acceleration is negative, right? So that means whenever I am going in the positive x direction, acceleration is pointing in this direction. Acceleration is pointing in the opposite direction, that is towards the center of oscillation. Right, now let's just go to the negative x. So suppose I am going in the negative x. Okay, so over here I am just going in the negative x, right? So when x is negative, so when, just a minute, so when x is negative, okay, what is acceleration? Again, acceleration is minus of omega square into x. The square of any term is positive, x is what? Negative, right? And over here there is a negative sign, so acceleration would be positive, right? Because negative into negative, positive. So whenever I am going in the negative x, acceleration is again pointing towards the center of oscillation, that is towards this point, right? So that means if I go in the plus x or if I go in the minus x, the acceleration vector is always pointing towards the center of oscillation. So that means it's always directed towards the center of oscillation, not away from the center of oscillation. So option B is incorrect. Now look at option C. It a maximum, so the option C states that the acceleration of the object is maximum at the center of oscillation. Is it so? So see, this point is the center of oscillation, right? So this point is the center of oscillation. Okay, and what is the coordinate of this point? 0, 0, right? So put x equal to 0 in the equation. So that means omega square, in the place of x put 0. So that means at the center of oscillation acceleration is 0. Okay, so that means it's not maximum at the center of oscillation. Okay, maximum at the extremes of the oscillation. This option is correct. Why? Because acceleration is minus omega square x. Okay, now we want the magnitude of oscillation. Okay, so the magnitude, now we want the magnitude of acceleration. Magnitude of acceleration is omega square into x, right? So that means at the extremes of the oscillation x will be maximum, right? So that means for that a would be also maximum. So that means at the extremes of the oscillation, what will happen? The acceleration of the object will be maximum. So option D is the correct option. So proceeding on to the next question, a traveling wave have a frequency of 500 Hz. The closest distance between 2 points on the wave that has a phase difference of 60 degree is 0.050 meter. Okay, so we need to find the speed of the wave. Okay, so that means what will be the value of delta? Delta is how much? 60 degree, right? So what is 60 degree? We don't need it in degrees. Okay, we need it in radians. 60 degree is pi by 3 radians. Delta x, that is the distance between 2 points in a wave. So this is equal to your lambda by 2 pi into your delta, right? So that means what is delta x? So that means the delta x is 0.050, right? Now what is lambda? Lambda is, we need to find out lambda, right? Lambda divided by 2 pi into delta. Now what is delta? Delta is pi by 3, right? So from here we get that pi cancels. Okay, so that means lambda by 6. So this is equal to 0.050, right? So that means lambda comes out to be 0.300. Okay, so we need to find out what is the speed of the wave, right? So what is the speed of the wave? What is the speed? Velocity is equal to your n lambda, right? Where n is the frequency. The frequency of the wave is given to be 500 Hz, right? So that means, so this will be equal to 500 into lambda. What is lambda? 0.300. So from here we get that if you just solve this, you'll get 150. So that means the velocity comes out to be 150 meter per second, right? So that means the correct option to your question number 15 is your option number C, that is your 150 meter. I hope you got the question.